welcome back to my channel. So let me go ahead and start off with trigger warning. This video is going to include children and children murdering children. So if any of that content is triggering to you, you might want to go ahead and click off this video and tune into some other content on this channel and not watch this. With all that said, welcome back to another Murder Minute video. This is the case of Jamie Bulger. This is going to be a case from Britain in 1993. I can vaguely remember this only because I was the same age as the murderers at that time. Okay, so this case raises a lot of questions, and those questions are: at what age do you stop being a child? At what age are you really considered responsible for your actions? At what age can you be seen as a killer? And this case brings up all of those questions. So these questions were asked when a grainy CCTV picture in Britain showed two 10-year-old boys leading a 2-year-old boy out of a shopping center, and that 2-year-old boy was later found dead. So, let's get to the story. Denise Bulger was shopping in Liverpool with her 2-year-old son, James Bulger, known to his family as Jamie. The shopping center was busy, and she had become distracted, losing sight of Jamie for a moment. Robert Thompson and John Venables were at the same shopping center that day. Both were 10 years old. They were playing truant from school, and both were from chaotic families, and this was not their first time playing hooky from school. Thompson and Venables were entertaining themselves by shoplifting, and they had stolen that day a list of things. So let's go what they had stolen. They had stolen candy, a troll doll, a can of blue paint, some batteries, and anything that they didn't want, they threw down the escalators just to cause some chaos. So let's remember that list of things: candy, a troll doll, a can of blue paint, and batteries. That will be important later. Thompson and Venables had become bored with their petty crimes and had started discussing luring a small child away from their mother. One of the things that they had discussed was luring that child away and pushing that child into the busy street in front of the shopping center. Yeah, they sound like perfectly good 10-year-old kids. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with these kids. The two had even attempted and failed at their plan. So, the two were inside one of the stores in the shopping center. A mother had noticed them trying to get the attention of her 3-year-old daughter. Moments later, the mother realized that both her 3-year-old daughter and her 2-year-old son were gone. After searching for a few seconds, she found her daughter, and she asked her daughter, "Hey, where's your brother?" And she said, "Gone with the boys." So the mother grabs the daughter by the arm and takes off running. And she goes outside the shopping center, and she catches sight of her son, and the boys are trying to tempt him to come along. At this time, Venables spots the mother, makes a motion for the boy to go back to her side. The mom's so just like happy to have her son that she's kind of just like checking him out for a minute, that the boys kind of like slink back off into the crowd, completely unnoticed. Yeah, they're perfectly well-adjusted little 10-year-old shits, aren't they? So Venables and Thompson are now annoyed that their plan failed. So they re-enter the shopping center and they start stalking out the food court to try to steal some more candy. And this is when they spot little Jamie Bulger. He was standing at the entrance to the busy butcher shop, and his mother was distracted. So the two approached Jamie, and they started talking to him, and within a few seconds, the two had taken him by the hand. The two approached Jamie and started talking to him, and within a few seconds had taken him by the hand and had led him out of the shopping center. People remember seeing the trio leaving. They even say that Jamie seemed excited and even ran ahead of him, and then one of the two of them would call him back and he would go back to them. To all of those around, it appeared like it was two older brothers just taking care of a younger brother. Back at the butcher shop, Denise began to become panicked. She ran and found mall security, gave them a description of her son, what he was wearing, how old he was. Security gave out his name and his clothing description over the loudspeaker, but nobody came up with the child. Half an hour goes by, they contact the police, but by this time, Jamie and his kidnappers were long gone. Venables, Thompson, and Jamie had started walking and had walked for almost 2.5 miles. When Jamie would cry out for his mother, the two would ignore him, but he trusted them and continued to follow them. The trio crossed Liverpool and found themselves near a canal. This is when things kind of start turning a little wrong for Jamie. During all of this time, approximately 40 different people have seen them, and no one stopped them. By the canal, the two, Venables and Thompson, pick up Jamie and dropped him on his head. It left a mark that started to swell immediately. Jamie was crying, and the two started joking about throwing him in the canal. Bad enough. This is where it gets worse. A woman saw Jamie crying and heard him crying and did nothing. Venables and Thompson became bored and decided that they wanted to leave. So, battered and crying, Jamie went with them. He, at this point, was bleeding from the forehead. And when Venables and Thompson noticed this, they just pulled the hood of his jacket up. But it didn't cover the injury, nor the crying face. Accounts from this time vary. Some people said the child was crying, others say he was laughing and willingly following them. Some people even say he was kicking and screaming for his mother. However, no one stopped them. One woman even recounted seeing Thompson punch and shake Jamie, and the only thing she did was close her curtains. One woman did stop the trio to see what was wrong, Venables and Thompson lied and stated that they had found Jamie at the bottom of the hill and were taking him home. She told them that they needed to take him to the police station, and then she walked off. Later that night, when she was watching the news, she realized how big she had screwed up. But by then, it was too late. Another woman even offered to take Jamie to the police station, but she couldn't find anybody to watch her daughter, so the trio kept moving. A group of older boys stopped the other boys and asked them who the younger boy was. Venables lied and said that it was Thompson's younger brother. And everybody bought it. So these guys kept getting by and kept moving. And for some reason they were heading toward an old rail yard in Walton. It was rarely used. It was isolated. Venables and Thompson knew that they would be alone. Why does this sound like a very bad idea? Before arriving, they did hesitate, and the two discussed turning back, and almost did. But their minds were made up, and they led Jamie toward the railway line. This was just before 6 p.m. Venables and Thompson tortured Jamie. They threw paint in his eyes. Now, let's rewind. What did they steal when they were at the shopping center? Blue paint. On the side of Jamie's face was blue paint. They kicked him all over his body using bricks and stones. They pummeled him. The pair used the stolen batteries from the shopping center and stuffed them in his mouth. They stripped Jamie from the waist down and peeled back his foreskin on his penis. The pair pummeled the 2-year-old until they became tired. At this point, they found a 22-pound fish plate iron, lifted it, and dropped it on his skull. Jamie's head was fractured in 10 places. The pathologist's report concluded that the boy had suffered so many injuries that it was impossible to determine which one finally killed him. But all that they had done was not enough. No, not for these two perfect little angels. They decided they needed to make it look like an accident. So, they dragged Jamie's body onto the tracks and weighted it down with stones and rubble. Not long after that, a train passed and ripped Jamie's body in two. Satisfied now, Venables and Thompson left and went home. The police investigation at this point was in full swing, and the parents obviously were their first suspects, but they were quickly ruled out. Pictures were being circulated and people started coming forward, and the last place that they had seen him was at the canal. This led nowhere, obviously, and the boys had crisscrossed the city too many times. Jamie's father believed that he was going to be okay, because by this time the CCTV picture of the two young boys leading Jamie out of the shopping center had cropped up. So he believed that Jamie was going to be fine, because there was no way that these 10-year-old boys were going to hurt Jamie. Well, Jamie's father, Ralph, was sadly mistaken, because 2 days later, Jamie's body was found. Police found evidence all over the scene, including the murder weapons. An anonymous tip led the police to John Venables and Robert Thompson, who were arrested a short time later. The evidence was overwhelming. the two boys quickly turned on each other right after questioning began. Venables even confessed. So that I killed him and begged the police to tell Jamie's mom he was sorry. Venables broke down and Thompson remained absolutely resolved. The police thought Thompson was cold and a hard individual. However, none of this mattered because it was way too much evidence. So both were charged, but due to their age, their identities were kept secret. The two were convicted as juveniles and considered criminally responsible. The judge stated that the crime was one of unparalleled evil and barbarity. Venables and Thompson were the youngest people convicted of murder in Britain, and they were sentenced to 250 years. Now, you gotta think this happened in 1993. I was the same age as the murderers. I was 10 then. So they had to serve a minimum of 8 years, and at 18, their cases were reassessed. So that happened in 2001. Both were considered model prisoners, and they were released and given new identities so that they could try to live out a normal life. Since their release, Thompson has gone silent. He is living out his life. Venables, on the other hand, was imprisoned in 2010 for downloading pictures of abused male children. And then in 2017, he was imprisoned again for the exact same crime. Now, here's the sad state of affairs. In the end, Venables has served more time for downloading images of abused male children than he actually served for killing Jamie. Venables probably is never going to be a rehabilitated person. But it does sound to me like Thompson actually learned his lesson, is just keeping his damn head down. Is like, no, screw this. I don't want to be part of any of this shit. I just want to live. But Venables sounds like he has got a screw loose up there and is going to be a danger to society. So that is the case of Jamie Bulger. This happened in Britain in 1993. And these guys are the same age as I am, so they're 36 years old now. And Jamie was 2, so he was 8 years younger than them. He did not get to live his life. It's very sad. But I also remember, and I was this way with my kids, my mom was this way too, like, anytime we were out in public, like, you had to be, like, right there next to her, and I was that way with my kids, like, my kids had to be, like, right there with me, and my son's 14 now, and it drives him nuts, but, like, if I can't see you, we got a problem, you know, but it is a very sad tale about don't let your kids out of your sight. And 1993 is a way different time period than it is nowadays. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. Let me know what you think of the content down in the comment section down below. If you have a video that you want me to shoot, or if you have any cases that you want me to look into, you can leave those in the comment section, or you can look in the description box. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or my email is also linked down there below. You can send me the details in my email. That'd probably be easier for details. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. And I have shot 3 of these tonight, so I've got to get some editing done. But I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.